On a frigid January night in 2024, the peaceful tranquility of Coventry, Vermont was shattered. U.S. Border Patrol agent David Maland, a 15-year veteran, conducted a routine traffic stop. It would be his last. Gunfire erupted. Maland was killed. The suspects, Teresa Youngblut and Felix Bockholt, were linked to a disturbing group known as the Zizians. The incident sent shockwaves through the small community and beyond. Maland, a husband and father, was mourned as a hero. The suspects, meanwhile, were thrust into the national spotlight. Youngblut, a 21-year-old with a troubled past, survived the shootout and faced serious charges. Bockholt, a German national, did not survive. The aftermath of the shooting revealed a disturbing trail of violence and extremism. Investigators soon uncovered connections to other crimes, including a murder in California just days earlier. The Zizians, it seemed, were not a random group of outcasts. They were a dangerous cult with a growing body count. The Coventry shooting became a chilling reminder of the unpredictable nature of law enforcement. It also exposed the dark underbelly of online radicalization, where dangerous ideologies fester and spread. The question on everyone's mind was simple but profound. Who were the Zizians, and what drove them to violence? At the heart of the Zizian group was a mysterious figure known only as Ziz, later identified as 34-year-old Jack LaSota. LaSota, a transgender woman, had gained a following through her online blog, where she espoused a bizarre and often disturbing ideology. Her writings focused on the supposed conflict between the brain's hemispheres, each with its own gender and desires. LaSota's followers, drawn to her charisma and radical ideas, formed a tight-knit community. They referred to themselves as Zizians and saw LaSota as a prophetic leader. Her blog posts, filled with apocalyptic warnings and calls for violence, became their gospel. LaSota's teachings found fertile ground among a disaffected and isolated demographic. Many of her followers were young, alienated, and searching for meaning. They felt ostracized by mainstream society and embraced LaSota's message of rebellion and violence. Anna Salomon, executive director of the Center for Applied Rationality, had encountered LaSota and her followers in the past. They were extremely vulnerable and isolated, she observed. LaSota exploited their vulnerabilities and fed them a steady diet of paranoia and hate. The Zizian ideology was a toxic blend of conspiracy theories, pseudoscience, and violent extremism. Central to their belief system was the notion of a cosmic war between good and evil, with themselves cast as righteous warriors. LaSota's writings were filled with anti-government rhetoric, apocalyptic predictions, and calls for a violent uprising. She encouraged her followers to arm themselves and prepare for a final confrontation with the forces of darkness. One of LaSota's most disturbing teachings was the concept of hemispheric warfare. She claimed that the brain's left and right hemispheres were engaged in a constant battle for dominance, with the left hemisphere representing femininity and the right representing masculinity. This supposed conflict, she argued, was the root of all societal problems. LaSota's teachings had a profound impact on her followers. They became increasingly isolated from the outside world, cutting ties with family and friends who questioned their beliefs. Many adopted extreme lifestyles, living in communes and adhering to strict dietary and behavioral codes. Violence, they believed, was not only justified but necessary to achieve their goals. In the wake of the Coventry shooting, authorities launched a massive manhunt for Jack LaSota. Warrants were issued for her arrest in multiple states, but she remained elusive. Her lawyer, while maintaining her innocence in the Pennsylvania obstruction charge, declined to comment on her whereabouts. Teresa Youngblut, meanwhile, pleaded not guilty to charges related to the Maland shooting. Her lawyer also declined to comment, leaving many questions unanswered. The investigation into the Zizian group continued, with authorities working tirelessly to piece together the complex web of events and motivations. The case of the Zizians is a stark reminder of the dangers of online extremism. It highlights the ease with which charismatic leaders can exploit the vulnerable and marginalized, leading them down a path of violence and destruction. As investigators delve deeper into the group's activities, one question lingers: how many more lives will be lost before justice is served?